Greetings, everyone, and welcome to TimeBlazr Tuesday. We're just at the beginning of the month of November, and if you'd like a very intriguing way to bring planning and productivity to your month in this very challenging times, this video is for you. Every week I give you my forecast of how the week is going to play out with the TimeBlazr. The TimeBlazr is a energetic calendar that's personalized to everyone's birth information so that you can do important activities like launches. So if you have a product, program, service launch, you're launching a website, you have a book that you've worked so tirelessly on, and then you just launch it on a whatever day because it's done. No, what we want you to do, if your efforts are really worth really bringing out the best in you and you want the visibility, launch everything on a very good day and time personalized to your energy. Hi, my name is Kathleen Zemansky. I'm a business Feng Shui master, astrologer, and the creator of the TimeBlazr business management system. So here we are, we're in November. Today is a very interesting day in American history, and I would say probably even in the world because it's election day. So if you're not listening to me and you're a U.S. citizen, please do your civic duty and go out and vote, because we do have, luckily, those freedoms that other people in the world don't. So anyway, let's get on to the TimeBlazr and let's see what we have for you today. So like I said, what we are going to be doing is we're going to be talking about the upcoming week, so November 4th through the 10th. So really what I want you to understand is that, I have clients all the way around the world, so we're going to actually start talking about tomorrow. If you want to know about today's information, go back to last week's video. Otherwise, let's move forward in the day, okay? All right, and the first thing I would love for you to do, especially if you are new to me and my channel, please go ahead and subscribe, like and put a comment below if you really get some value out of what's happening. So let's face it, this is a crazy time in history, not only for elections, but because of COVID, because of civil unrest, because of all of the crazy weather patterns that are happening. All of those were actually quite predictable, which I did talk about at my annual event in January. So hopefully some of you are paying attention now more than ever, because this is important information that we already know in advance what's going to be happening in the future. So planning ahead is really where you're going to have the most stimulus, if you will, in your own business. So let's see how we can help you do that. All right, the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to hop on over to the TimeBlazr, and let's see if I could just get to the month part of it right now. We're going to be kind of going around the entire month, but the first thing I want you to notice is that we've got some quite a bit going on this particular person's calendar. Remember, what you may be receiving will be a little bit different than what you see on my screen right now if you would like to get a TimeBlazr for yourself, and the links are already listed below. So here's what I want you to think about is how can you plan out this month for success to bring some cash flow and success to your business, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to take away some of the personalization so that you can see a bit of what will happen from a foundational piece. Every TimeBlazr, with the exception of the stars that you see on each day, what you see are the green and white days and some names of types of days in the week. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about the 4th through the 10th, and so I'll talk about each one of those types of days, and over the course of 1 month I'm going to cover all 12 different types of days. There's 12 different type of prevailing energies that happen, and this is an important distinction, especially if you're going to be launching something. For your day-to-day activities, I'm not so concerned about it, even though know there's really good pockets of time in each and every day. We just have to look a little bit more deeply into the day. But here's a couple of things I want you to understand. If you can start planning out your entire year this way, you're going to be so much further ahead in the game. And I'm going to try to guide you through each week so that you can do your planning. But obviously, if you have the entire year to play with, then you are really powering up your business. Number two, each month, you really should be thinking about how you're going to be planning things out based on your long-term goals of the year, quarterly goals. I like to work with my clients, and then every month and every week, and then obviously every day. So I'm just going to go through the steps that I personally go through, what I advise my clients to go through, and then how I can help you as well. All right, let's get back to the TimeBlazr, and let's first look at these green and white days. If it's a green day, this means that the vibrancy of a particular day is elevated. We have several different formulas programmed into the TimeBlazr from a foundational piece, and that's something that you really need to understand. If it's green for you, it's green for everyone, but there's going to be some personalization that's going to come up soon, so just sit tight. All right, so the green days are saying, okay, it hit a certain benchmark, and so it's going to say, okay, it's a good day to do something important. If it's a white day, then that means that it has fallen below this certain threshold, and it's kind of unstable and very risky to launch something important or do an important activity. Let's say like, for example, last week I had a client who did a book launch, and she also had wondered if she could use a destruction day to like just get rid of some things. But they were important things, and it was like, no, don't use that day because it is actually going to have a counter effect for you. So, and thankfully she listened to the advice, because I actually went to her virtual book launch and it was quite well received. I'm very proud of her, so congratulations. And then what we also want to do is really start planning out our week. All right. So, but we're at the top of the month, so we're very fortunate that we can plan out the month, and I'll tell you how I do it in just a moment. All right, let's go back again to the TimeBlazr, and let's start talking about the let me talk one more about the days. So, for example, on Wednesday the 4th, there's a remove day, the 5th is full, etc. Like I said, there's 12 different types of days. I'll talk about those when I talk about the day view, so that you have a understanding about each one of these days. Now, for personalization, what we have here are a star system. And each day will have either 0 stars, which will mean that the vibrancy is pretty low. And then what we have is all the way up to 5 stars. So irregardless, whether it's a green day or a white day, this might be a little heady for you, so just breathe. That if it's on a green day, we'd rather start something of importance on a green day. The reason why the stars are there, because astrologically, because we do business astrology here, astrologically it's connecting with the astrology of the day. It has nothing to do whether it's a green day or white day, or if it's a remove day or a success day. It really is more about the back end underpinnings of how does it astrologically connect with you. But then we need to go to that next step of, but how good is that day, even if it's a 5-star day? So the next thing, and by default, you are going to always see the icons show up when you first come in. So I'm going to put those all back for you just so you can see what they are. And you hit the all button. And really what I want you to do at this point, and you need to do it on your TimeBlazr versus this one, because your icons and stars are going to be quite different, is I recommend to my clients, pick 1, potentially 2 really, really, really vibrant days at the beginning of the month, and then all your strategies are backed by this particular launch of what you're going to be doing. Now, it could be a smaller project, or you could have been working on this for quite some time. But if it's a smaller one, let's just say, let's try to get in a couple of new clients so we can get, some, like I said, some stimulus into your bank account, if you will. So what would be a strategy that you might want to do? Now, let's go back to the TimeBlazr, and let's just look at, all right, for this particular person, I see, which is going to be sort of out of the scope of what we're going to be talking about this week, but we do have the 7th, has quite a few different icons there. We have the 11th, risk reward, 5-star, and look at that, that's beautiful. We also have an open day, the 26th, and then on the 28th is an established day. So here's the big difference. So 2 of those days fall on a weekend. Do you do client work on a weekend? Great. If you do, then just go ahead and use those weekend days. But if your business dictates and you're going to get more response of people responding to you about outreach, then do it during the weekdays of your week hours. But then we have to look at the day views to see if the hours match up. So we're just doing this monthly planning right now just to go, okay, those are the potential couple of days that we're going to be looking at. All right, and then the next thing that you're going to want to do is be a little bit more specific about what you want to be doing. So let's again remove all of those icons, and then let's say that we are going to present a proposal. Let's say that we want to sign a contract, and let's say we want some money to come in because of that contract. And then the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to hit no meetings, because we want to make sure that we're not meeting on a day that might be harmful to our negotiations. But again, we would look at certain time slots for that. So now we're going to hit selected. Let's have a look at that. Okay, look, we still have the 7th. That's within our realm of possibility for the month because it hasn't passed yet. And then it looks like the 26th would be another one, or even the 11th. We'll talk about those in the following week. But I just wanted to let you know that there is some personalization and filters that you are able to do as well. Now, everything that we're talking about is based on your astrology chart. So this is part of the TimeBlazr system. And so let me talk about these different areas. Now, there's a lot going on this entire astrology chart, but what we're going to talk about is the year, month, day, and hour of birth. The year of birth is about your marketing. So this is about any way that you may be getting your knowledge, your voice, your advertising out into the world. It could be print, could be a blog digitally, even though print doesn't really happen too much anymore, but there are billboards and things like that, obviously. Then we have things like this, YouTube or Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram lives, all those kinds of things, or even static posts, if you will. Then you could also do speaking engagements and things like that. So anything that would be supporting that is about your year of birth. And it's also about your networking efforts. Holy moly, if you ever wanted to go around the world and network and really expand your marketplace, now is the time when everybody is doing this online. And spoiler alert, you're going to be doing it into 2021 as well. We'll talk to you a little bit about how that's going to be falling out in just a few moments. All right, and then your month of birth. This is about your career and your character and how well you're suited to the work that you're doing. Your day of birth is about your partnerships. It's about your personal growth, and it's also about your mindset. It's about really your way of dealing with anything that is coming at you, whether positive or negative. And it's also about there's a lot of people that are out there that are using a lot of their positive energy, and congratulations for that. But what I really want you to continue to do is take that, once you're out of that meditative state, I want you to take that into your work as well. So, it's like, I'm going to manifest all of these wonderful things that come into my life, and then they come and then you repel them away. So you really have to work about your mindset about, yes, I am worthy of having this. Yes, I do want to, be that influencer, or yes, I want to, get that big client, those kinds of things. So if you really want it, you have to live it, the yin and yang of it. So the yin part of it is going to be more of your meditation, and the yang part of it is going to be your action. So this is a very important pillar as well. And then your hour of birth is about your goals and how well you are able to achieve those goals. It's also about your legacy, your life purpose, if you will, and then it's also about your research and development. Okay, all right, so now that we know a little bit about how the TimeBlazr is programmed, let's go back to the strategic dates. And let's just hop right into the first day. So the first day is a remove day. And what I want to point out again is we're going to talk about things that are going to be general for every person. And then we'll talk about the personalization. So you have to understand a couple of the foundational pieces to make the most out of the TimeBlazr, okay? All right. So let's look at, like I said, some of the things that are standard or general to every person. The day of the week, obviously. And then let's look at the couple of boxes down. You're going to see avoid, remove, yin, metal, pig. So the avoid, remove, that is for everyone. And the yin, metal, pig, it is that type of day. So if you will, this is like a birth chart, if you will, of somebody being born on this day. They would have been born in the year of the rat, the month of we're still in the month of the dog, and the day of the pig, and then depends on what hour they are born. That would be the birth chart. And again, this is how we're connecting. It's like doing compatibility. I do some HR work as well, and so an owner of a company will send over birth information of potential employees that they're thinking about hiring and vetting, and so we look at to see how well they will work in the team construct of the company, as well as how well they get along with the owner. Loyalty, honesty, those kinds of things are also seen in a person's birth chart. So that's what we're really looking at. We're looking at your birth chart and how well does it match up with the day. Compatibility, yes or no. It's really as simple as that. But we do all of the thinking for you. You don't have to think about a thing. You just need to you need to do your good work, choose a good day, and that's how it's worked. All right. So, but today, as I said, a white day is on the side of lower energy. That means that we have, in this respect, we have an avoid day, which is really very low energy. Then a remove day, which I typically love, and I'll still use this day. I just won't use it for an extremely important activity. That's all. But I'll show you how we can use it in just a second. All right, now the next thing we're going to look at is the positive and negative influences of the day. Now, these are in standard business English. They should be just like, if you look at it, it's like green light kind of means go. It's kind of like the stoplight. Happy endings, happy. Mentors means mentors. Sound investments is about money, stability, and virtue. But you do also have to watch about carelessness and getting kind of lost in the shuffle with the wilderness. Now, if English is not your first language, and or you want a little bit more information about a particular energetic, go to one of the guidebooks, which you would have access to as well. Just go to this training tab, and then there's several different videos there too for you to understand a little bit more how to operate the TimeBlazr, because it's a pretty empowering system. It's a very empowering system. The other thing I'd like you to do is every day set a goal. What is it, if you had to do one thing and one thing only for you to feel successful to get towards that goal? Goals are set to start ticking off the little boxes, right? Got that done, got that done, got that done, so that you can know, if you're tracking it, then you know how far, or what is the gap, if you will, between what you have and then what you would like to accomplish still, and why, right? So you always have your why behind this. So with that, you are going to be setting a goal for the day based on that, certainly the goal that you had set for the month, if not the year, if you are working on the year plan. All right, now the next part of it is when we look at the days, and the days are, or the hours, excuse me, look at the hours and look at that gray column that's right next to the day of the week, and it starts with the rat and it goes all the way down to another rat, and those are the 2 hours that are split. But basically in the Chinese calendar, what we have is 2 12-hour time slots, still 24 hours, but they're called by the animal name. So there's 12 months, and each month has the name of a zodiac. There's 12-hour slots, each named by the zodiac. And so we have to just kind of look at, this is how we can figure out, how the hours are going to flow. But I have, for your convenience, the hours just right below it, so you don't have to learn what the zodiac is. For those of you who like that sort of thing, go ahead and just look at the zodiac name as well. All right, then there's a row right next to it that has another set of information, and that set of information is the energy that will be connected with that particular hour time slot. And there's 3 ways in which those times are going to show up. One is going to be, let's look at let's look at the rat hour. Early or late, it doesn't really matter, but look at the top of the chart where it says rat from midnight to 12:59. We have lawsuit, so it's red with a minus. Even if you don't know what a lawsuit would mean, look for red and minus, and that means to you, stop. That means really stop. Do I really want to do something important during this time slot? Hopefully you're sleeping, but let's also remember we are in a global economy. If you have a website, you have a global business, and whether you're found or not, that takes maybe a little bit of effort on your side. But basically at this point in time, never before has every person had the opportunity to have a global reach. So start thinking about that. Start thinking a little bit bigger than your own little geographic area. And for those of you who say, oh, but I have, maybe let's take the example of maybe in an acupuncturist or somebody who works in that type of healthcare, acupuncture, chiropractor, that kind of, like, why would I want to have a global reach? Well, because people do travel, maybe not so much now, or people know people. I mean, I know people all around the world, and if somebody would ask me from let's say the UK, because they have a friend that lives in California, for a referral to a chiropractor or an acupuncturist, I would know exactly who to send them to help them out. So start thinking about that. Get out of, I have this little bubble that I live in, and nobody else can get inside or get out. Well, yeah, you could do that, but you're going to stay small. If you want to stay small, then maybe well, that's a strategy. I'll just leave it at that. Okay. All right. So now then we look at the other type of energy. So let's look at, for example, the 7 a.m. all the way to 12:59. Then we have what's called a mixed energy, because we have, for example, in the dragon, We have established authority, and that is a blue and a plus, and then we have the red with the minus. So this is mixed energy. Again, take a little bit of caution because we want to make sure that we're not disturbing the energy of the day. And then where we have the most opportunity is if you look at the 11 to 2:59 p.m., this is all blue. All right, so basically what I want to tell you is when the energy, even on a day like the day that I'm describing for you right now, this one is a day that has low energy, but we have a 4-hour time slot that the energy lifts and we can use it. So that's how I want you to start using this calendar. Now, all right, let's keep going on the wrong slide. All right, so then we have, let's just talk about the type of day. It's a remove day. That means you can remove things that you no longer need or serve you. Just get rid of them, and you're going to have the best opportunity between 11 and 2:59 p.m. All right, so how do we personalize this? Let's start again. Look at the star system. Those stars from the month view are going to transfer over to the day view, so you don't have to keep toggling back and forth. All right, so we already know that this is a 3-star day to the pig in this chart and that person's birth chart. Then we also see the icons that come through, and truthfully, on the day view, all the icons are going to come over. So you don't really get to filter them out at that point, but they do tell you a full picture of what is possible. And there's 10 activities that we put into the TimeBlazr that typically over the course of a year, most businesses would use. But that's only one of the filters, and don't be hung up on, oh, they didn't have a signed contract on a day that I need to sign a contract. It would be better if it did, but let's try to find some flexibility to help you the best we can. All right, so then the next thing we need to understand is that there is 4 different ways that the personalization of the hours will show up. There'll be 0 stars, which means it's neutral to you. They're still usable, but they just don't connect with you as much as if there was a star connected with it. And 1 being, again, that's still good. 2 is better, 3 is the best, okay? So let's look at this day to see what we have here. All right, so as you can see on this day, we're quite fortunate. We have a 1 and 3 stars during the 11 to 2:59, so I would use these to at least get some good work done here. And then there's again between 7 and 10:59 p.m. The other hours, even though they have stars on them, there's the red there with the minuses, so I'd say let's avoid those. Okay? All right, so let's go back. Let's now go to the next day. You can go towards the top where it says November 4th and just hit November 5th. It will take you there as well. All right, we're going to speed it up just a little bit just because now that we've got the navigation down, let's just look at some information or any new information I might be able to give you in each and every day. All right. The 5th, there are no icons that come over for this particular person, and it's a full day. So a full day means basically that you have your cup is full. No matter what, you drink from the bottle of water, which is a good idea. And magically more water comes in is basically what it means. So what I want to warn you about this day is even though this is a white day, and I really wouldn't use it for launch purposes. I'm definitely going to be using the day, but I would say that a full day you have to be careful because if you're signing a contract, especially on this day, your clients are always going to want more. They just want keep filling me up with more without paying you more money. So you do have to watch about that, and you have to watch about a little bit of burnout. So under promise, over deliver, and your clients will be super happy. Now, this is where the TimeBlazr gets a little bit challenging because it is already a challenging day. And look, from 9 all the way to 4:59 p.m., this is where we've got a lot of mixed energy. So for me, this is a day that for sure I haven't scheduled, because I've had the system for quite some time, 10 years to be quite honest. I would have already known not to have scheduled something on this day. Well, if you're finding out about the TimeBlazr now for the first time, your calendar may already be full, and you have that real important client to meet or address or whatever via Zoom or send out something. So here's what I would do if I was in that situation. First of all, I would try to understand everything that's happening during the day. That would be understanding the positive and negative influences they prevail over the day. And then whatever time slot that you had already selected, I would make sure I understand what's in that energetically as well. Now, you could modify your behavior. Let's say, for example, let's give a real specific example. Let's say that we ended up choosing the goat hour between 1 and 2:59, and it looks like, oh my gosh, it's director. That means you're got authority. There's opportunities there with open door, but we do have entanglement, and it's a 3-star, so it does connect with this person. And we also have to watch out for that entanglement. So what I would do is I would really watch conversations, gestures, so watch your verbal and nonverbal communication as well as the other person, so that you don't get entangled in drama or things that you didn't originally think you were signing up for. So there's a couple of ways you can handle it. Modify your communication at the moment. Try to reschedule, or this is for an important activity. If this is just you're doing your regular tasks, like for me, I'm going to be doing content creation. Do I have appointments on that day already? Absolutely. Am I going to cancel them? No, because it isn't a big huge contract that my career is on the line here. I don't have any type of those appointments scheduled on that day, but you might, because you just found out about this system. All right, so if you can't reschedule, what I would do is I would try to say something on the lines of, oh, this sounds wonderful. You know what? I'd really like to get back with you on one more piece of information. And then would you be willing to come back to the table and find a different day like you've already figured out which day you're going to be doing your signing of the contract or taking this client to the next level? This is how I personally would handle this particular day. This week is a little bit wonky, I have to say. We don't have a lot of great days going with it, but this is ever more reason why I think the TimeBlazr is a very valuable system, because it can definitely help you do strategic planning. All right, the next day, now we got to Friday. Now this is an avoid balance day, and this is the last day of the dog month. And we'll talk about the next day in just a moment. So a balance day, again, this is a void, so it's not really that high of energy here. And what we also have with the balance day is this is a day where things do come in balance. You get a 50-50 result. So on a favorable balance day only, these are great days to do things like building a team. If everyone's supposed to have equal opportunity and equal input, this is great for a lawsuit if you want a 50-50 split. If you don't, do not use a balanced day. You see how these energetics can really make a difference when you're really thinking about what the type of day is for the type of activity that you're doing and how much it can benefit you. This is amazing intel that you have right at your fingertips. It's just amazing. Okay, so but on this particular day, it's an avoid day. But here's how I plan out my week every single week. I do a big planning, and it's a good couple of day, 2 or 3 day planning where I'm planning out my entire year, and I usually do it in the month of November, beginning of December, to really map out what I'm going to be be doing for the entire year. And then I put it down, massage it, and then I come back and I just keep really like gearing it up to make sure that I'm doing the things that really are on point of what I am trying to accomplish. And I'd like you to start thinking about that as well. And the month planning is the same, or the quarter planning than the month, but the weekly planning is where I do this on a Friday. And on Fridays, what I do is I first look at last week. From last Friday to this Friday, what did I put on my planning calendar that is hitting my long-term, short-term, and midterm goals, right? So I want to do something each and every week that will be moving towards those goals. And then, so basically that's what I do. And then I do it on Friday morning. And the reason I do it on Friday morning is because if I have the 20-minute or an hour task that needs to be done, I can still get it done on a Friday, and then I don't have to carry it over into the following week. So as much as I can get done. So this helps me with my productivity and focus. So try it out. If you have any other tips on how you do your planning, please put that in the comments below. I'd love to hear how other people are doing their planning. Okay, now from there, we go back to our regular, day and finish that up. So on this particular day, the best time that we have is between 9 and 10:59. Another time slot between 3 and 4:59. And then that's pretty much it for the rest of the day. So that's what we have on this day. All right, now let's go into the first day of the Chinese calendar month of the pig. And oh, hallelujah, we've got a beautiful day to start out. And look how beautiful it is for this person especially. One, it is a 3-star day, and look at all those icons. And then remember when I said that the green days are more vibrant. Now, unfortunately, this is a Saturday, but this is a gorgeous day for this person to really do something with great success. So let's talk about this one a little bit different from the day before, which was also a balanced day, but it was not such a great day. Now, first of all, the energetics do change between a dog and a pig, so that's also, we figure that out for you. You don't have to figure it out on whether or not that's going to be a good month for you or not, and the star system will just carry through for you. Number 2, this is an excellent, so this is the highest value that you can get into the TimeBlazr, which makes it green. And then also this is a balanced day. Remember what I said about balance. So you have to, this is a great day to bring some balance, harmony into your life. This is a great day to, like I said, build a team and do those kinds of things as well. Okay, it's a Saturday and you may not work on Saturdays, but do try to make the best of it, because this is an imbalanced week to be sure. Okay, so this Saturday is a good opportunity to get some things done. All right, we also have a new color here, which is the teal color in the positive influences, which means that we have a very good opportunity for something to happen very quickly. Now, I need you to take caution with this, because remember, the prevailing energy of the day, the positive and negative influences, is overlaid the hours of the day. So any time that the energy is unstable, then things are going to happen very quickly under the unstable hour. If you use them with a good time slot that's matched up to you with 1, 2, or 3 stars, oh my Lord, that's just incredible how quickly things can happen for you. So this person has between 9 and 10:59 a 1-star, and the 1 to 2:59, which has a 3-star, and a 7 to 8:59 p.m. has 2 stars. Now these 3 time slots are my favorite. Could this person use the 7 to 8:59? Yes. Will it connect with them and they get as many results? No. So that's why we use the personalization. So obviously the one with the 3-star is going to have the highest vibrancy, but they have 3 different time slots to choose from. So this is a beautiful day to kick off the month of the pig. And please again be reminded that the stars in the icons will be different for each individual. All right, now we have another day that's favorable. It's a favorable, stable day. This means things will be very starting out with a stable foundation. This is great to start things. You could start maybe a good habit like meditation, or it would be a good time to start an exercise program that will actually stick, but you got to be really serious about it too, right? This is also good to start with a new client on a good foundation. So I love starting things like if you're going to be starting a new project, any kind of new project. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to start an exercise program. I'm going to, start, on a big client project. This is a good day to get that started. Again, granted, it is Sunday, but sometimes if you want to really make some things happen, we have to be flexible in our timing as well. But as you can see, the times of the days are pretty unstable where the person's stars are, which would be for everybody, because the hour time slots are going to look like this for everyone. Where the stars show up is going to be different. So this person has 3 to 4:59 a.m. There's some good time slots. So the best thing I would do personally, if this was my TimeBlazr, is maybe send out some sort of an announcement and use the autoresponder programs that you can use to still sleep and do business while you sleep, is how I would use that day. All right, so now let's go on to November the 10th, and November the 9th, and we have another beautiful day here. No icons for this particular person, but this is a favorable initiate day. And this again is very good for starting something on a very good foundation. Now, I want you to take note of the 3 to 4:59 p.m. a.m. There is a teal box there. So the biggest difference between the teal in an hour and the teal in the prevailing energy positive influences that prevails over the entire day, whereas this one just goes over that 2-hour time slot. Again, very early in the morning, but could be autoresponder land if you want to use that. Otherwise, you've got 3 to 6:59 p.m. where you've got some really good opportunities to get some great things started for you. I'm going to give you a little insider information here. See where it says big spender? Even though it's in the negative influences, this is a great time. Just start thinking about what some of your holiday planning might be for some type of sale, promotion, or something like that. You can actually have your clients be willing to spend more money with you if you do something on that day. So remember, this system is a strategic system to help you have a competitive edge. The origins of Chinese metaphysics really have always been to benefit the affluent, the people in power, to have more influence and power. So I'm making this available to you for absolutely no charge. So, why don't you just step in and try it for yourself and see what kind of results you'll get. Okay. All right. So this one is a beautiful day as well. All right. Now let's go to the last day, which is the 10th. And this is an avoid destruction day. Now this is probably my least favorite day. One, it's an avoid day, which means it is the lowest energy of all. And then we have a destruction day on top of it, which just destroys everything. It's really great for demoing a property, or if you're doing a big renovation. But quite frankly, I would not personally demo anything in my personal space on an avoid day. I would use A day like I would use a very positive destruction day for using a demo, but I would still be very cautious of this day because it is quite unstable. All right, with that said, what I would really watch out for on this day, big time, is you watch your spending, because see that big spender there in the negative influences? This is when it's really negative. Now, if you would decide to sign a contract on this day, do take note. You should be journaling about this anyway to make sure that, because you tracking what is working, which you can do right there in the daily intentions, or you can have a separate journal, but using this day to make a sale or sign a contract, most likely you're going to get returns. Most likely you're going to have people complain. Most likely you're going to have people wanting to get out of a contract. People will just not be happy. So I would just say, let's avoid that day and let's use that for content creation, or, what you could use it for is like, we're getting towards the end of the Western calendar year. You can start looking at the year of what you can start archiving and like shredding and things like that. But besides that, I'm just using it for content creation. Okay, so let me show you just a couple of filters very quickly. When you're in the day view, you got to go back to the month view to do this. And what I want to let you know is that you can download a yearly calendar for the TimeBlazr. You can also download any particular month if you would like to print it out versus using the digital. You could also put it into your iCal or Google Calendar. And quite frankly, where we're at right now is if you would click on, if you would download this, what would come through is the left-hand corner. We still do not have either Google or Apple still saying, yes, we're going to make the TimeBlazr, our calendars look like the TimeBlazr, but we'll get there one day, right? But for now, that's how you can make it mobile. And truthfully, for those who are TimeBlazers already, we do have the TimeBlazr app that is in beta, so stay tuned for that as well. Then the other thing that you can do is you can do some amazing filters. And this is where I love doing this, certainly for the planning of any month or year. So I just clicked on, I did that a little bit quick, and the arrow doesn't show up on OBS here. So what I want to do is I'm going to go back to the month for just a second, just to show you where I clicked on that. All right, so you go to search. So there's 2 rows of gray tabs, and it's that bottom one that says search. So you go into search, and there is a way, and I'm also going to switch over to the business astrology. When you look at this particular dial, right under your natal chart, there's a ring that says 5 structures. So what that is the yin and yang of all the elements in your chart. So when we go over here, we can actually look at, show me all my wealth days or all my power days, my resource days to help me, be stronger, or how can I build my networks? This is a real important one to have happen in 2020. So what that will do is you'll just be able to click on any of those days and then, click on to the day right from there, and then you can start planning out how you're going to best use that day. All right, let's go back to the month again. And then another search I'd like to show you about are these activators and how you find them on your business astrology chart. They're towards the bottom left-hand corner. It's going to say activators. This whole piece, man, I could do a class just on this alone. But these activators will start telling you about certain animals, that if you need helpful people, if you need to have more intelligence to help you get, a project done, you need to write a white paper or website copy or something like that. Charisma is very good for date nights. as well as sales, travel, self-explanatory, and wellness is also in there as well. So I think people are a bit concerned about their health right now. So let's just see for this person if there are any wellness days and how you use that. Again, it's personalizing this. Let's choose this day. It's a Monday. We already looked at that day. So basically what this day is telling you is to schedule and go for maybe a 3 to 4:59. You will receive better treatment by going to a healthcare provider on that day. So especially if you need like a little procedure done, I would definitely do a day that matches your wellness days. So this is your body is more open, if you will, to be receiving the treatments that you're going to be receiving, and also finding the right medical teams and things like that. You have to obviously do your due diligence. We don't want to, take this for granted, like, oh, I chose a wellness day and so I can do whatever I want to my body. No, you're going to do everything you can to stay strong. This is an action-based system, remember, and then this will help support you finding a good day to do those kinds of things. So then the last filter that I want to show you about, again, going back to this search, and let's go to this general tab. Remember I told you that there were 12 different types of days? Well, for example, if you are launching something that is very important to you, what I would do is number one is choose a success day. There's other days you can choose, but we're just doing a quick little example. So basically, choose a success day, and then what I would do is I would choose all the favorable ones. And you'd say, well, why would anybody want to choose a challenging day? Well, basically, I'm not saying, so again, here's some of the days that this person has. Again, click on the day and then you can do your planning from there. So basically, it's not about just choosing a positive day, it's also avoiding the pitfalls of a challenging one. So that's my recap for the month here. The last thing that I want to tell you about, well, there's two things I want to tell you about. I did tell you that if you are interested in getting the TimeBlazr personalized to you, all you have to do is go to www.free30timetrial.com. No credit card is required at this time. So this is an opportune time for you to, right at the beginning of the month, really make the most of this month. And that's the URL you need to go. And by the way, those are also linked below. Then the last thing I want to tell you about is my annual event that is coming very, very quickly. January 16th and 17th, 2021. It is going to be a live stream event only, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific. The second day might be a little bit different timing depending on how much we get through on the first day. And you just need to go to bit.ly/metal and that link is below. You guys, I'm telling you, we already know that this year, which I talked about at the beginning of this year, and I do my planning a minimum of like 5-year blocks, but then I really get deep into the planning like in the summer of before the year starts. So in June, July of 19, I was writing copy and content for the Metal Rat in January the 19th. In the United States, we knew nothing about, the general public didn't know anything about the pandemic. And I talked about super viruses, we'd be wearing masks, which is unheard of. Actually, one of my clients said, you know what, I heard you say that to me, Kathleen, and it was like, there is no way I'm going to be walking around in masks, and we're all doing it. Well, most people are smart enough to be walking around with masks to save their lives and the lives of others. So I also talked about there's going to be an economic downturn, and we're seeing it especially in the commercial sector where, building after building, let's not even talk about vandalism, but let's just talk about the people are just in droves just canceling their leases just to get out of that very difficult monthly payment, if you will. So real estate is down. It's stuff that I talked about, and I am sad to inform you, but 2021 is going to be more of the same. And how do we make the best of 2021? So I've got a 2-day program that I'm so excited to talk to you about, and we've got extra early bird tickets on sale right now, so you may want to grab it because the prices are going to be going up soon. Again, that URL is bit.ly/metalox, and we sure hope that you are able to come so you can start really planning out energetically how your astrology is going to be benefited or not, how your floor plan can be enhanced by using the best areas of your space, how you can use the timing, just like we're talking here about the TimeBlazr, and how you can use the universal gateway, which is really looking at the higher intelligence energetic map that we are going to be superimposing over the floor plan as well for 2021. So it's a really jam-packed day. And we take all of that information and we create your 2021 goals based on your energetics. It's a very different way of planning out your year. I'm so excited for you, and I'm so excited about this upcoming event. So we hope to see you there. But for now, I thank you for your time. It's very precious, and I realize that it's an important day today. So again, hopefully you are making the most of your time today, and we will see you next week for TimeBlazr Tuesday, and we may have a different outcome of what's happening in the current climate. So we'll see. We'll see you next week. Have an amazing time. Bye bye.